It's a collector on the corner. Today I'm going to show you an old T-bird I got that I need to sell to somebody else. It's 67. But first I want to talk about dynamite. I got a couple of dynamite stories I want to tell. First time I was ever messed around with a dynamite, I was working for the city of Pocahontas. And they had an old jail there. It was like the 1880s jails. It was just a cell with nothing in it, you know, just bars and a big steel door on the back. It was attached to the city waterworks and the city hall. That's all cement buildings, I guess. It's all concrete walls, rebar and stuff in them, made by the WPA, I assumed. Anyway, they said the jail wasn't good enough to put prisoners in anymore. And the mayor had this secretary, and this lady was real good at getting government grants to do stuff. So she got a government grant to remodel the jail, modernize it. And she also got a government grant to hire some employees to work on, to labor on refurbishing that jail. So I got hired on by the city, and Roger Smith did too. We both little bitty guys. He's smaller than me. I only weighed about 100 pounds. He's probably 4'10". I was 5'2", you know. Anyway, so they put us inside that jail, an old concrete floor there, with a big old 90-pound jackhammer that belonged to the waterworks, and an old Jaeger air compressor and a hose. We was in there a hot summer day, gonna bust the floor up because they was gonna put plumbing and all in there. And we wasn't getting nowhere. There was rebar in there, and that old concrete was solid. And we worked all day and maybe got half of a pickup bed of rock out of there. Well, the next morning we was out there working there, and Mr. Buckner, he lived right above the jail in an apartment, him and his family. He run the waterworks and run the sewer treatment plant, put the chemicals in there and tested the water and the pumps and all that stuff. And his family lived above there, and he was also the jailer part-time. He come down there and he looked at us and laughed. And he took and he gave us one of these right here. Let me show, walk over here where you can show. There's a drill. And he painted holes in the floor and told us where to drill holes. And he come back with dynamite. It looked like this. This ain't dynamite, this is fused, but the dynamite looked just like this. And he showed us how to cut holes in that and put a primer cord through there and put primer cord all the way down through there, and then put a cap on the end of the primer cord and light it and make the fuse plenty long. And he said, don't lock that big door on the back, but close it. When you light that fuse, walk out and close that door. And he stayed there, and we shot that dynamite off, and it was probably about 5 sticks cut in half, you know, 10 holes. And the mayor come running around there. He owned the radio station and stuff. He's a nice guy. He come right around there. He said, was that dynamite I heard? He was all excited. He says, man, he said, that scared my secretary so bad she wetted her pants. And he said, the next time you get ready to set one off, he said, come tell me, we won't tell her. So we went to drilling old Brance Buckner. He was the kind of guy, once he showed you something, he expected you to know enough to be safe and that. You know, he wasn't going to stand there and babysit you. So me and Roger, we did that again and got ready to set off a blast, and we told the mayor we was fixing to put off some dynamite, and he come around, can I light it? Can I light it? Yeah. And that time we was further on the back corner, and we left the door open. And when it went off, he said, he was all excited and using curse words and everything else, saying he seen sparks and everything else come out of there, you know. So we was blasting away there, so I learned to use dynamite. That's where I learned to use it. Well, what we used to do when we was bulldozing, if you couldn't get a stump out of the ground, too big for the bulldozer, you get a truck axle like this right here, a big truck axle. Then you'd either take a sledgehammer and pound it down under the roots of that tree, or what we usually did was got it started and took the dozer blade and pushed on it, pushed it under there, hooked the chain to it, back the dozer up, pulled it up, and made just the right size hole for them sticks of dynamite. So these two old men was out there wanting to blast a big stump out. They'd cut the timber, and this old stump was about 4 foot across. And they was out there, and they put that axle under there and putting dynamite under there, and they blowed it out. They wasn't moving the stump, they was just blowing the dirt out. And it rained, and they had a great big hole. And they decided they'd get down and they'd try to get up underneath that thing. So they was down there underneath there, turning around there and everything. This one guy's name was Bill, another guy's name was John. Well, Bill and John down there in that hole. And Bill had 2 sons. Older one named John, the younger one named Bill. And this Bill, he was a little like my grandkids. He's kind of a little mean little stinker. And he went and he found him a red root. And he went and got some dynamite and he cut it off the same length. And then he wrapped it with some of that old dynamite paper. And he put a put a fuse in the end of it, put a hole, real short fuse, about 1.5 inches long. And his daddy and old John was up underneath that root wad. And it was a big muddy hole. You know, they'd blast a hole out 6 feet deep down the ground. And, oh, Billy comes up there and he lights that and throws that down the hole with them 2 old men. He says, fire the hole, and throws it in there. And them kids was telling me about it. And they said them 2 old men was trying to climb a hole and one would try to climb over the other, and it was mud and they couldn't get out. And he said, but he said they didn't think that was funny at all. You know, they was teenagers when they did that to them guys.
Poor Billy, he rest in peace.
It may have been his grandsons or something. But, you know, I don't know if it was his kids or his grandsons pulled that on him. But anyway, but they went along with them over that day. They said they was going to hunt for arrowheads. Okay. Several years went on. I was running a bulldozer. They let me run this old D7 some. I was still young. I didn't know nothing about working dirt, but I could push down trees and make them, stack them up and make them burn. I could spread mud around where it's dry, where somebody that was a finish operator could smooth it up. Anyway, I was running that old 7, but they used me for a laborer a lot of the times. I didn't get to run that dozer, and I'd rather run that dozer as labor. They asked me one day if I knew anybody. I said, yeah, I know a good hand. So I went back and got my old one-eyed friend, Jim. And Jim went down there, and he was a good labor boy. He worked hard for him. They give him a raise. They never ever give me a raise, but he worked so hard they give him a raise. And one day we was down there, and they had some old big stumps them drag lines couldn't get out, long ditch dump. They digging ditches. And it was on a Friday, and it rained, and he said, any of y'all know anything about dynamite? And I said, I do. And they said, well, you need to blast them stumps down there. And of course, there was a truck axle handy. And so I went down there and carried a bunch of dynamite down there. Old Jim had never been around dynamite in his life. And I carried him down there, and we went to shoving that axle under that dozer and pulling it out and putting dynamite under, and there was one great big one. That sucker just wasn't going. So we finally got under there real good and everything, and me and Jim put about 1/4 a case of dynamite under that stump. We got back behind the dozer, and I thought the mud and dirt was never going to quit falling after that went off. And it blowed that stump 1/4 mile away. It landed out in the middle of a bean field. We seen it land. And Jim started worrying about that and this and that. And I said, them guys will find it with the combine. When they combine that field this fall. When they combine them beans, they'll find that stump.
Oh, jeepers.
Well, Jim, he got to be expert on dynamite. I mean, he went to work for the city waterworks and using that same old compressor I used when I was a little kid, but they'd got a new drill and jackhammer and hoses and stuff. But he's using that same old compressor, if there was a grave around here and they went to digging a grave and they run in the rock and couldn't get it done, they'd hire old Jim. He'd get the city's equipment, and he worked for the waterworks. Anyway, he'd get city's equipment, he'd go out there and blast that grave, or if somebody needed a corner post and hit rock, well, Jim would blast it for him. But he got to be real good at dynamite and everything, but he wasn't like me. I always wanted to use a fuse and a cap and primer cord. He wanted to use electrics and stuff like that. Anyway, he worked on road construction, run them old track drills, and they'd shoot dynamite and stuff. Up on 328, he shot almost all that rock up there when they did the Highway 328. But anyway, that's them dynamite stories, you know.
And there's the Thunderbird.
I don't know anybody that ever got blowed up with dynamite accidentally. But there's one old boy did. They used to be we could buy it. He worked at the crusher, and his wife had her boyfriend that'd come over and stay with her during the day while he's at work, and he found out about it. Well, he didn't confront her or nothing. He just went over and got a case of dynamite and crawled under the floor of the house and put that case of dynamite under the floor, right under the bed in the bedroom. And they was in there, her and her boyfriend was in the bed, and he let that off, and it blowed them through the roof of the house. It killed her and blowed his hands off and messed. He wasn't ever no good after that. And where I heard about that happening, I was listening to the radio, and it was Paul Harvey News. Paul Harvey told about it, you know, where I heard about it. But after that, go to Rock Crusher and want to get some dynamite, you know, they just tell you, you know, you're just out of luck. We ain't going to sell you no dynamite. You had to get a license to buy it after that.
You ain't going to blow up anymore.
But up to that time, you just tell them, I'm going to blow some rocks or stuff. I need to buy this much dynamite and stuff, and they just sell it to you, you know, no problem. Till that guy pulled that stunt.
Oh, he was mad.
But it put all three of them in the hospital, that girl, and killed her, and that guy put him in the hospital, and the guy set the dynamite off too. But anyway, so what we got here?
What have we got here, sir?
I bought this old T-Bird a couple years ago, at least 2 years ago. Because it's a Q code.
It's cute code? No,
yeah,
it's not
means
cute.
It's got a 428 engine.
Oh.
And I bought it because I wanted that 428 engine. And all them cars up there, this guy pulled big pontoon boats and lake boats and stuff, is up there on Peel, Arkansas, up there on Lake Bull Shoals, up in the mountains. Everything up there had a big motor in it and had a trailer hitch on the back.
Wow.
And when he got done using the car, he parked it, didn't even take the battery out of them. He just parked them. And I imagine that automatic transmission went out pulling them old big boats.
Yeah.
But he had Cadillacs, everything he had a great big engine in it, you know.
Well, why not?
But all them cars, the interiors of them was eat up, pack rats. Except for this one. Come around here, David. You can look inside of it. Ain't been no pack rat inside this car.
No.
Ain't been no mice inside this car. And I figured out why.
Why?
There are holes in the floorboards on the other side.
Oh.
Because that window leaked, and it rained in there, and it puddled in the back floor, and it robbed a hole about that big around out in the floorboards.
Oh.
And there was a 6-foot timber rattler living inside this car.
Oh, shoot the dog.
I know there was because I found his skin where he shed it. I found 2 of them. But he was living in here.
And you brought it home?
But he was gone.
Oh.
I didn't smell him in here. This is leather. These bucket seats, they're leather.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that's leather.
So?
That interior, them seats, and that's leather.
So?
Well, it's still got a good leather interior.
Oh.
There's a lot of good parts on this car. It does have a title. It does have a good clear Arkansas title.
Okay.
Under the back end here. It's got what they call an equalock differential. Disc brake rear end.
Okay, I see it.
Well,
no, I
It's
don't.
better than a positive traction. It's
I'm
a different
joking.
deal than a positive traction. That's equal lock.
Okay, equal lock.
I took the 428 motor out of here.
I see you did.
You ain't getting that. But the power steering's still here. The alternator's still here.
Mm-hmm.
Front pulley.
Mm-hmm.
That special oil filter deal. That there.
Mm-hmm.
In
That
the
tree
trunk,
that's
the hood
starting to
hinge
grow
and
up.
springs is there. I just laid them hinges down where I close that hood without kinking.
Okay, and there's
Turn it up.
the hood over there.
But all the brackets and motor mounts and everything goes with it to put an engine back in here.
Alrighty.
The exhaust was rotted off of it. And I've never drove it. I didn't try to get it started or nothing. And like that fiberglass cover and them rubber boots and stuff, all that rubber stuff's deteriorated on it over the years, as old as it.
Yeah.
But if you look around front here.
Okay, I'm gonna look if I can make it over there. Oh, it looks nice.
It's got a good grill in it. Some hideaway headlights.
Yeah.
Pretty good bumper on it.
Yeah.
This side here.
Yeah. Okay, and I'm coming. It looks like a face. Okay, I'm coming.
This side here has got some Bondo in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's a side swipe collision or what, and there's a little rust
Probably was.
formed under that Bondo.
Yep, I see it.
I'm going to say it side swiped something one time or another. But, you know.
Was it a man driver? It was probably a man driver.
Yeah, it was a man had it.
Yeah, they sideswipe
That's
stuff.
whose name's in the title.
They sideswipe stuff all
Maybe he
the
lost
time.
it. Maybe he's getting on that big 428 motor on the wet pavement and lost it.
Yeah.
It's got one of the T-Bird hubcaps.
Yay!
Thunderbird. It's only got one.
All you can do is wear that for a hat.
But it is a roller. And we can help anybody load it right up on their trailer. And I'm asking
What are you asking, darling?
$1,200 for the car.
Alrighty.
And I think the interior in that equal lock differential is worth that.
Okay.
But if you got a T-Bird and you're needing parts for it,
Uh-huh.
you can fix it, you know, totally if you really desire the T-Bird. I'm not a T-Bird fan.
No, I'm not a T-Bird fan
If
either.
it was a Galaxy, Debbie might like it. She's kind of got a soft
Yeah.
spot for Galaxies. She likes 66 Ford Galaxy.
Yeah.
She's had a few of them. She had a real good one. I traded it for a Mustang, and I ain't heard the end.
No, he has not heard the end of it. I'm still ticked.
It was LTD purple.
Uh-huh.
With purple velvet interior in it, power steers, and air
Well, it was
conditioning.
maroon. It was maroon. And,
Maroon. Okay,
yes.
well, I call it purple.
well, it was maroon,
I'm
and
colorblind.
it was nice and
The air
purty.
conditioning blowed good on it. We bought it for $75. The guy couldn't make it run. Put it on record and brought it home, and within 20 minutes of getting home, them two boys of mine had it running.
Mm-hmm.
And the driver's door glass was broke out of it. And I paid $75 for it, and I went over there and I paid $35 at a four-door hardtop. I paid $35 at the junkyard for door glass
Uh-huh.
and had to take it out.
Uh-huh. And you said it was my car,
Yep.
and it was a four-door.
And, well, this guy had this Mustang I wanted to trade for.
But I don't like Mustangs.
I know. And I wound up giving the Mustang away.
Mustangs aren't big enough for families.
No. But anyway, there's a radiator to this car too.
Yep.
There's a radiator and the fan shroud.
Let me get around
And there's a
here.
console in there, and the radio's still in the dash, ain't been butchered up or none of that stuff.
Do you want me to butcher it up?
What?
Do you want me to butcher it up?
No. I didn't bring a screwdriver with me today, or I could open the trunk.
That's okay.
We just gotta Little deal right there.
I know, isn't that
Where
cute?
you get into the...
See, I like
But anyway,
the good old days when the gas
there's way over 100 miles
was in the
over
back.
in the mountains where I went and got this at.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I don't need it. It sits here over 2 years. I don't guess we're ever going to do anything with it. So we can sell it. And today
And today only.
is Debbie's birthday.
Yes, it's my birthday.
I won't tell you how old she is.
Oh, shoot the dog. I'm 26.
Okay,
Go ahead. You can tell him.
okay. She's 26. You was a child bride, wasn't you? So anyway,
I'm 26 about, what, 3 times?
I'm going to put this on Debbie's Facebook, take some pictures and put this for sale on Debbie's Facebook page too.
On Marketplace?
On Marketplace, yeah, but on your Facebook. It'll be Debbie
What
Watts
are you doing on my Facebook?
Because I don't have a Facebook account.
Because no one likes you.
But anyway, it was a cool day, but it's starting to warm up.
It's not too bad out here.
It looks like it's going to rain.
It's not
We've
too
been
bad.
getting some good rains the last few days.
I know it.
And here's the hood of that car. I'm fixing to put it back on there. And you can see
Yeah,
that hood has suffered some damage.
Uh-huh.
And been, I guess that's
The bitterweeds are growing real good. They look fabulous.
Yeah, that really happened since.
You better not pick me a bitterweed. Bitterweed.
I get sit down here. I'm gonna take a drink of tea.
Yeah, you're doing good.
Well, I brought an extra big
I see.
glass of tea today because I was going to tell 3 windy stories.
Oh, listen here, mister. I'm going to start calling you Arkansas Wind, I guess.
Yeah, there used to be a guy that had that nickname, but he died.
Yeah, he passed away.
They said he talked in his sleep even. Never shut up for 24 hours straight.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know.
Oh, my gosh.
But anyway, I guess that'll be all for this, and we'll say goodbye and good luck to you, and we'll say happy birthday to Debbie.
Well, thank you.
I even cooked my own breakfast this morning.
Where's my present?
Cooked me breakfast.
Where's my present? Where's my cake? Where's my ice cream?
I'll give you a present.
Yeah, cake, ice cream, diamond ring.
I told a funny story. I'll tell you a funny story.
Can I?
I can't tell on the internet that
No.
you laugh at.
No, never mind. Thank y'all, and please like and subscribe and comment below. Please.